Good afternoon. Welcome to Thursday, September 27th. Skipped yesterday. Most exciting thing, I guess, was I made hamburger helper and I edited the Renfair vlog that I'm still working on today. And I guess to give you some of the mindset behind when I choose to skip days and when I vlog, even if the day's boring, a lot of it has to do with, I tend to, if I'm got the whole day off, like a weekend, generally gonna vlog it either way. And if I haven't vlogged on either side of a day, I don't like to go more than one day without picking this up. But otherwise, it's like I vlogged the day before that. It's like I can just put it off for Thursday, so I just decided to skip yesterday. But I did work the full day yesterday, which is good. I need to try and not take off early, just because we got that auction coming up. Actually, got a small stack of things that I know I can put into the auction. Because, you know, it's here in a month and a half, and I'd like to have a little extra money for that. However, I get into work today, and I got bad breaks. Like, at work, my break schedule is not fixed. And today, it was front-loaded. Like, my breaks are just near the beginning of my day. Which means the end of my day is going to drag on forever. Personally, I like my breaks all pushed, you know, like, I'm fine if they're evenly spaced, like, makes sense. But I prefer it even if they're pushed towards the end of the day. That way, you know, the beginning of the day, I'm not really paying attention to how long I've been there. But by the time I'm starting to think, gee, I've been here forever, I'm like, oh, but I just got a break here, and then it's still short bit of time, and then I'm gone. And it just helps me get through the day. Makes it easier. But we have some whatever group that seems to randomly determine when our breaks are. So today my breaks are pretty bad. So I get in and I see that, and I'm like, and I signed up on the list. And then I'm like sitting there trying to talk myself out of it. And I'm like, if they wait until it's pretty much the point where I'm going to have my last break anyways, I'll just say no. I'll stay. And then I started talking about what I was like, unless it's early enough that I could get, you know, get to Paul's and get like good donuts, which is an arbitrary thing, but the last few times I've taken off early has been too late for me to get to Paul's before they close, or right when they close, which means they're not going to have the good donuts left. I was like, unless I do that, then I'll just say no. But then at noon, they're like, you want to leave? And I'm like, that's early enough to get good donuts. So I did. But you know what? They did have the good donuts. So I'm going to have those and hopefully get some stuff done today. I don't know. And I have finally finished, after 3 days editing, the Renfair vlog. And it's like, it still ended up very long, but I cut out a lot too, so I just recorded a lot when I was there. But yeah, so I got that done. That's exporting. Probably get that out later today. And right now, I could try and get some other things done around the house. I need to go through boxes and etc. But it's been more than a month since I've gone and seen a movie. And that is not because of any of the terrible things MoviePass has done. They actually had nothing to do with it. There were simply no movies that I even would want to see for free. There were no movies for more than a month that I looked at based on the promotions and trailers and what I knew about them, that I didn't say, no, that would be a complete waste of my time even if it's free. So, MoviePass was fine during that point. There is now a movie that, admittedly, I would not pay to see, but that, just for the time, looks worth it. The House with a Clock in Its Walls. Jack Black, Looks like some cool special effects, some warlocky things. I don't know. Could be cool. I'm gonna go see if I can check it out. I just paid for a month of MoviePass without using it. Let's hope that now that here in the moment when I want to use it, I'm able to. I wasn't able to go to the exact showing I came for, but that wasn't MoviePass's fault. It was fine with it. But when I get to the kiosk actually in the theater, it's all like sold out, which I have a hard time believing because there's not enough cars in the lot for that to be the case. But I don't know, maybe it's because, oh, it's less than 5 minutes from now and they just don't sell them. I don't know, it's weird. But there's one in 20 minutes after that one, and I was able to get my ticket. And I'll be going to see The House with a Clock in Its Walls, and we'll talk about it afterwards. So, going to see a movie again. Fun! So I got out of the movie, and it was cute. I give it 3 out of 5. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. And of course, moving forward, a little spoilerly. So if you don't want spoilers for The House with a Clock in Its Walls, well, then you better skip beyond this or see it tomorrow or whatever it may be. Because yeah, there'll be some spoiler bits for the movie here. Of course, it's the kid dealing with the loss of his parents. And the kid's not an exceptional actor. I mean, he's a kid. He's not great at the subtlety, but in general, he does, this is a kid actor and he did pretty good. There were a couple spots I was like, I'm not buying it, but then I noticed those because there were plenty that there weren't. So mostly he did fine. It's definitely, it is such a kid's movie. It's oddly dark for how much of a kid's movie it is. Not particularly scary or anything, just dark in subject matter. I feel almost weird saying that because I know to some people it probably won't be, because there were, I remember other movies that other people have said, like even like Harry Potter people are like, oh, well, for a kid's movie that's very dark, but then looking at them I'm like, well, it's only sort of a kid's movie and it's only sort of dark. This one is a lot more dark and a lot more like geared towards, they're like pandering towards child with like poop humor and, etc. They have that kind of thing. It's like, okay, this is pandering towards children. This is a level of comedy that only children will find funny. So it's not even like you're going with family, and there are some things like all of a sudden where it just takes a turn and I'm like, okay, that's dark. That's oh, our bad guy is bad guy because of demon summoning. Oh, yes. Dark. But there were some cool things. The characters, Jack Black and Cate Blanchett did great. I mean, Jack Black, some of the things written for his character, I'm not a huge fan of, just because it's very childish. But I do get the feeling he did what he was supposed to do to be that character. It's not the acting I don't like, it's the character. And there were some cool dark turns, like the way the evil witch was basically manipulating the kid by impersonating his mother and acting like it's a dream that she's talking to him to get him to do what she wants. That was dark, but that was like a dark, like in a psychological kind of like, oh wow, you're a wicked person to do that. And then there were other things that were very much, that are really problems, but I get the feeling that the person that wrote about them has been an adult for way too long and is forgetting what it's like to be a kid. because there's all the social problems of being not accepted and wanting to fit in and etc. There's all those issues are covered by the movie, but not, well, that it's almost like it feels almost like a pandering sort of way, almost like it feels like an adult wrote the child's situation, and almost like it's pandering down and making it more of a comical situation than a real situation, which maybe that's it. Maybe it's more just trying to be comedic about it, and that came off that way to me because I still can remember that. There are points from my childhood that I've fought to hold on to just because, whether, you know, I've used at times when dealing with my nephew or when I have kids someday, just wanting to be able to remember what I went through so that I can try and do better to help them get through. Oh no, I say 3 out of 5, and I'll give it that. It's more than what, in my mind, I have sort of weird divisions, and for it to go down to a 2 out of 5, I'd have to really start to feel like it wasn't worth my time, and it was totally worth my time going to see that. Probably won't want to see it again. That's kind of where 3 falls on my scale, is I'm not like in a, you know, I don't really want to watch this again, but I was glad that I saw it once, kind of thing. But of the other 3s that I've given so far, it's probably the lowest. And just because it's a little more childish. A lot of it was like, this is good, and I would have thought it was hilarious if I was like 15 years younger. The effects were cool. A lot of them stood out as effects. Some of them didn't. Some of them I'm like, okay, those are probably visual effects, but they could be practical effects, and I'm not sure which. A lot of the cool mannequins and such in the house, like when they're moving around, I'm like, that could be done practically, and it might have been, but they're moving around a lot. That might be digital, and for those I couldn't tell. Like, now the guy that's, you know, risen from the dead, he looks like CG because he's all CG-defied. Whatever. But most of them were pretty cool. And it did. It had that cool feel, that creepy feel. It was a nifty little movie. Nothing special. Nothing to write home about. But it was fun. It was a cute movie for how dark it was. If you saw it, let me know what you thought about it. If you saw it and either went with, like, whether your children or relatives, like, know them that saw it, what did kids think about it is almost what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, did they really like it, or was it like too dark for a normal kid? I don't know. But anyways, it was good enough. Oh, and one more thing I'll point out. Friend, the girl that played, like, the bug girl, I wanted her character to be more. Like, I get it. It's good that, okay, he's making a friend at the end, so that's worth setting up. But I'd wanted her to, like, have, like, a crucial role somewhere before that. Like it almost clicked with me, like, at the point where there's this thing where, you know, it's the clock is hidden from any warlock. No magic person can find it. Well, it's like, well, I'm not really a witch or warlock yet. I can find it. Okay, fine, that worked. But I mean, he's done some magic, so he kind of is. What if they had to get, like, someone that knew no magic to locate it? That would have been kind of cool to, like, bring that character in, or something like that. I wanted that character to have an extra beat. I mean, it's nice that in the end, it basically fills he now has someone that he cares about, his own age, that he kind of is friends with, and they'd begun it with, you just need that one friend, and so he's got that, but I'd have liked a little more than just that. Unless it's basically setting up for a sequel, which I don't know if it is. I mean, it's based on a child's book, clearly. So, a lot of times there are more than one of those. But I had wanted more from that character. Now, heading home. And now, being home, I'm sitting here doing some more editing. Because obviously, the number of days that Renfair vlog took put me further behind. I want to have things ready so I can try and catch up. And I'm hungry. I'm trying to figure out, well, what options do I have? So I'm looking through whatever I've got. I have in here fries and egg rolls that I could fry. I could use my deep fryer. And the gnats have drastically declined. But the way the deep fryer works generally is going to be I put in oil in it, I fry things, and then I have to dispose of that oil, which isn't the easiest thing, and might take either, I have to let it cool, so it will probably take a day of leaving it sitting. Just gonna draw gnats, so I'm like, I don't really want to use the fryer until the gnats are completely gone. And like the fries, I could bake. I could throw those in the oven. And normally that's what I would do, other than the fact that I now own a deep fryer. So there's that. I have a bit of cheese and I think it's turkey, but I don't have any bread. I have pancake mix. I almost forgot about that. I can do pancakes or other things that I can do with pancake mix. So there's that. And then there's a few cans of stuff I can do. I could do tomato soup without grilled cheese or anything, which I don't really like. I could do baked beans, which I'd rather have like hot dogs or something with. I think I'm gonna be boring again and make my last thing of macaroni and cheese. Probably. I don't know. And I have a few options for like I could make like cookies or cupcakes, and I can make corn muffins, but none of those are really food. Those are snack-like things. I have red sauce. I have pasta. I could make a red sauce pasta that I know I won't like. Yeah. Definitely running out of things to make, which means I need to spend money on groceries, but also I'm like trying to run out as much of stuff as I can. That's actually a goal. Just because that means I'm actually using stuff and it's not gonna just keep getting too old and become garbage. So like I am deliberately putting effort into using all that I can from what I have. It's just the more that I do that, the harder it gets, and the more I'm sad with the choices I have available to me. But I'm doing it on purpose because I want to use up what I have. And alright, so I got my macaroni and cheese for dinner. I got the Renfair video uploading in the other room. Gonna get that put up, and then I'm going to try and close everything down to shut down that computer overnight, because there's a note out on the mailboxes that says that they might be like upgrading some of the external like power box equipment, and so we might lose power for a little bit tomorrow, and I'd rather the computer be off rather than just crash when the power goes away. Other than that, I'm pretty much tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.